All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the draw for the Adios for 2026. This is the 60th edition of the Adios. It's been a great 60 years, and we hope to keep the tradition going. My name is Jeff Zidek. I'm the track announcer here at Hollywood Casino at the Meadows. It's my pleasure to be announcing the Adios for my seventh year of calling the Adios, but I had to do the numbers, and I didn't like when I realized that this will actually be, as an employee here, this will be my 39th Adios. So, yeah, it's been a while. The last time I got the opportunity to host this press conference, back in the 90s, I was the public and media relations director for the racetrack. And so the last time I hosted one of these was 1997. Back then, there was no social media. Nothing stayed forever. And I was very lucky because back then I had a really bad mustache, which thankfully that has been solved. I also, back in the 90s, I had really bad hair. So we're 1 for 2, okay? We got one problem solved. We'll work on the other one. Give me a few more years. This will be, again, my 7th year announcing the Adios itself. My goal, once again this year, will be to not call the wrong horse. I have been successful so far, 6 for 6 at calling the correct horse, but that has not been easy. I've nearly blown it a couple of times because it's a good problem to have. The Adios in the last several years has had many very close finishes, and we'll see if that tradition keeps up. It has been one of the most competitive 3-year-old stakes, although Meadowlands Pace had 5 horses right there at the wire a few weeks ago. We'll see what we've got coming up because we're going to be drawing those post positions, and that's going to be very important for where these horses will get to start and how the race is going to set up. We will also be drawing for 2 divisions of the Adio Volo. That is the sister race of the Adios. It is a Grade 3 stake in addition to the Grade 1 Delvin Miller Adios Pace for the Orchids. And again, this year's race is presented by First Bet, so a big thank you to First Bet and all of our sponsors for helping to bring this together. I want to point out that we have several special guests here. For our media members in attendance, you will have the opportunity to conduct interviews with some of the folks that are here today. First off, we would like to welcome our general manager here at Hollywood Casino at the Meadows. Matt Heiskell is here. We have our director of racing, Michael Carter, our race secretary, Tom Leisure. Very popular. The executive director of the Meadows Standardbred Owners Association, Donnell Johnston. And we have various members of our management and staff here from Hollywood Casino at the Meadows. Representing the horses that are competing in both the Adios and the Adio Volo. Again, they will be available for interviews afterward. We have Ron Burke, who has 5 in the Adios and several in the Adio Volo. Ronnie Wren, who drove Al Papi to the victory he drove Lua Deepa, and he drove Malillo to the second place finish in that division the other day. But again, Lua Deepa was 4th, so we're going to find out tonight who Ronnie Wren's choice is going to be. We also have Melanie Wren. Melanie is here. She trains Odds on Mr. Mamba, who won the first elimination. She is looking to become the 4th female trainer to win the Adios in the long history of the event. Representing horses that are going to be in the Adio Volo, we have some of our longtime horsemen here, Doug Snyder, Mike Wilder, and Tim Twaddle. And if the media would like to talk about a little bit of Adios history, I just want to point out one other special guest we have here. As I said, for 39 years I've been working for at the Adios, but most of those races over the years were called by the Hall of Famer Roger Houston. Roger is here tonight, and so anybody who wants to talk Adios history, there's the guy that knows all about it. And in fact, as I said, I have only called 6 Adios races themselves, but every year I would come in and I'd get to call a couple of races on Adios Day because Roger would take a break, save his voice, and give me the microphone for a couple of races. Well, after Roger left here, he went to work out of state. When he came back and moved back to Pennsylvania, I have now made it a point every year to bring Roger in and have him call a couple of races on Adios Day to kind of keep that tradition going, and that will continue this Saturday. Roger will call a couple of races early in the card on Adios Day. Now, I'm going to be turning the mic over. As you have probably heard, we are going to be on the CBS Sports Network, a nationwide broadcast of the Adios this year. And that will be anchored by Mark McKelvey, and Mark is here tonight. He is going to guide us through the draw and tell us a little bit more about these horses. And so at this time, I want to turn things over to Mark McKelvey. Again, he'll be hosting for CBS Sports. Mark?
Thank you very much, Jeff, and good evening, everybody. What a wonderful event that's been put on. A big shout out to the entire team here. And right off the bat, the hospitality has already been amazing. I've been fortunate to attend the Adios a few times growing up. And then several years ago, I was here. And I remember just feeling the electricity with the packed apron and just the great energy that there was for this magnificent day of racing. It's one of the best days of the year. And I hope everybody just takes a little bit of time this week, and especially on Saturday, whether you're racing or whether you're just here in attendance taking in the great action. Soak it all in, enjoy it, and best of luck to everybody in tonight's draws. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to do our first draw of the evening. It's going to be for the first division of the Adios Volo. You can see the three gentlemen joining me up front here to conduct the draw. We have Assistant Judge Doug Bishop. We have Director of Racing Michael Carter and presiding Judge Scott Egger. All right, gentlemen, so we're going to do the first division, and Mike has informed me that the Adios Volo races are going to go as races 14 and 15 on Saturday's card. The Adios, of course, is going to be race number 16. So let's do the draw for the first division. 16 entered, so 2 fields of 8. Okay, Real Fast is going to be the first horse out in our first division of the Adios Volo, the Mickey Burke Adios Volo Grade 3 event as mentioned. So Real Fast gets post position number 4, and don't be fooled by the numbers. Those are pool balls, so they may not match exactly, but that is number 4. So Real Fast, Ronnie Wren listed to drive for Ron Burke.
3.
Post 3, Seaside Shuffle.
Okay, Seaside Shuffle will be the next one out. And Seaside Shuffle, again for Ron Burke. Ronnie Wren is listed, a career winner of over $450,000. Most recently 5th in the Nadia Lobel.
1.
Post 1, Spoon Fed.
Okay, Spoon Fed is the next one. Dave Pallone does the driving here for Doug Snyder. Also raced in the Nadia Lobel last time out, and is going to go to the inside. The rail starting spot for Spoon Fed.
8.
Post 8, Say Goodnight.
Say Goodnight. Scott Zeron listed for trainer Nick DeVita is going to get post position number 8. This is a horse coming in off of a victory last time out at Pocono, 150-4, a new career best.
7.
Post 7, Robin's Song.
Robin's Song, the next one. Dan Altmaier, Mike Wilder, post position number 7. As one for the locals here in that first division of the Adios Volo.
6.
Post 6, Miss Jum Jabber.
Okay, Miss Jum Jabber, who will get a ton of attention in this first division, is going to get post position number 6. Andrew McCarthy, Brett Pelling teaming up. She's had a terrific season to this point, and will look to keep it going. 8 for 9, mark of 150 flat taken right here at the Meadows.
5.
Post 5, Shikari.
Shikari is going to be the next one out for the Burke Brigade. Chris Page is listed to drive. 4 wins, lifetime, mark of 51-1, taken as a 2-year-old. And most recently finished 3rd in the Nadia Lobel. So there's one left.
It's post 2.
Post 2, Topville Lucky.
Okay, so Topville Lucky. Speaking of the Nadia Lobel, the Andrew Harris trainee, reaching up to win. Dexter Dunn listed 7 for 10, a mark of 149-1, taken as a 2-year-old. So a good group for that first division of the Grade 3 Adios Volo. That goes as race 14 on Saturday's program. All right, gentlemen, so they are going to get the papers all set up for our second division, which will go as race 15. A terrific card. As you've already seen, the first 13 races were listed as the entries were out earlier today, and now we'll round things off. Race 15 is going to be the first race as part of the CBS Sports coverage, then leading into the Adios. Good group that will square off once again. Plenty of talent on the card. Really looking forward Saturday, of course, to the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes, the 2-year-old Payson Colts and Geldings, as maybe a future Adios winner will be on the program this Saturday. All right, let's get started with division number 2 of the Adios Volo.
2.
Post 2, She's a Rich Girl.
She's a Rich Girl, post position number 2, trained by Linda Toscano. Tim Tetrick listed to drive, was second in that one's most recent start at Oak Grove. That's a mark of 151 and 2.
6.
Post 6, Be Perfect BG.
Post position number 6 for Be Perfect BG. We've seen this filly square off with her rival, that being Luadipa. Luadipa's gotten the better of her and is going to race against the boys in the Adios on Saturday, but Be Perfect BG will be on the card. Dexter Dunn for trainer Tony Beaton.
5.
Post 5, I'm a Lulu.
I'm a Lulu is going to get post position number 5. Towards the center of the starting gate. Finished 4th in the Nadia Lobel. Tim Tetrick listed here for trainer Ron Burke.
4.
Post 4, Naughty Beauty.
Naughty Beauty is going to be the next one here. So Naughty Beauty is going to get post position number 4. And with that, we will see the Andrew Harris trainee lineup with Todd McCarthy in the bike.
8.
Post 8, Make It Right.
Make It Right for Jim King. Tim Tetrick listed here as well. Last start, finished second, just beat a neck, and is going to get an outside starting spot on Saturday.
3.
Post 3, Perfect Thought.
Perfect Thought. And I could hear a little bit of a cheer there as they see the Twaddle gang. Perfect Thought. James McDonald listed for trainer Tim Twaddle. Looking to get back into action is Perfect Thought. Mark of 149 and 3 taken this season.
7.
Post 7, Laude Da.
Laude Da is going to get post position number 7. Another one for trainer Ron Burke. Chris Page listed to drive. Last race in the Nadia Lobel last Saturday night at Scioto.
1.
Post 1, Barbuda Bell.
Barbuda Bell is going to round things out again from the Burke Brigade. Ronnie Wren listed, coming in off of a victory on July 16th right here at the Meadow. Stopping the clock in 1:51 and 4. So there you have it. Those are the fields for the Adio Volo, the Mickey Burke Adio Volo Grade 3 event. Goes as races 14 and 15. Best of luck to everybody competing in those races coming up on Saturday's Adios card. Speaking of the Adios, it's time to take a look at how we got to today's post position draw and the horses, how they qualified for this Saturday's Rich Final. We look back to the eliminations. We will get to those eliminations, but we'll meet the field first. I know producer Curtis, he's not in my ear, but he's probably screaming at me right now. Al Papi, the first one to meet. What an incredible performance in last Saturday's elimination. Made a big statement to head into the final off that near record mile, 147 and 2. Another C note gets into the final as the richest 5th place finisher for the Burke Brigade, one of 5 starters for Team Burke. Another C note was clocked in 50-1 in his elimination. Next up is going to be Frantic Hanover, and Frantic Hanover, did he ever race well in his elimination? Coming up the inside, just missed, beat a neck behind odds-on Mr. Mamba, Tim Tetrick for Ron Burke. The next horse we'll meet is the filly. She really doesn't need any introduction, an incredible talent, and it's always special when we see one of the girls take on the boys in our sport. And I just love the passion, and I love the statement that it makes. As Luadipa will race in the Adios final, she qualified by finishing 4th in her elimination. Ronnie Wren for Ron Burke. Malillo is next. Malillo competed in the 2nd elimination in that big-time mile. He was individually clocked in 147 and 4. His final quarter, 26 and 1. Ronnie Wren doing the driving for trainer Ron Burke. Malillo, one of the contenders in Saturday's final. Next up is Odds On Mr. Mamba, the North America Cup champion. Rebounded in his elimination to win in 149-3, a gate-to-wire winner. James McDonald in the bike for trainer Melanie Wren. Next up is Sweet Lovin' Lou. Sweet Lovin' Lou finished third in the second elimination. He was clocked in 148, 26-4 kicker. Scott Zeron drives for Dan Legacy, a son of Sweet Lou. Sweet Lovin' Lou will compete in Saturday's Grade 1 Adios. Toast of the Town qualified for the final by finishing fourth in the second elimination. It was James McDonald in the bike for that elim, as he was a last-minute substitution for trainer Noel Daly, another son of Sweet Lou, so well represented in Saturday's event. Treacherous Lou qualified for the final by finishing third in the first elimination. At 75-1, finished third, just beat a length. Kicked home in 26-4, trained by Robert Cleary. Doug McNair did the driving in the elimination. All right, with that, there is the field for the 2026 Adios. As I mentioned, we're going to take a look back now at those eliminations. We're going to pick things up in the first elim at the three-quarter pole.
Over to the three quarters, Odds On Mr. Mamba's there, 122 and 1/5. Reasonable fractions here, but Lua Deepa, here she comes to the outside to try to get to Odds On Mr. Mamba. Frantic Hanover sneaks up the inside. He's got some pace left. Another C-note fourth, top of the stretch. They turn for home. Odds On Mr. Mamba with a front. Frantic Hanover's got pace to the inside. Lua Deepa on the outside, but through the stretch, it's Odds On Mr. Mamba. He'll go wire to wire. The mile 149-3. To the inside, no wait list is back to third. Malillo gets underway to the outside fourth. Moving fifth, here comes Toast of the Town. They're by three quarters, 120 and 3/5. Snaps off at 26 and 2/3 quarter, and Al Poppy has command. Sweet Lovin' Lou's closing some ground second. Malillo is third. Toast of the Town fourth, trying to make up some ground fifth. Here comes Easy Breeze, top of the stretch. They turn for home. Al Poppy and Gingras are in command. Closing to the inside is Malillo. Sweet Lovin' Lou on the outside, but it's all Al Poppy in 147 2/5.
An incredible performance there by Al Poppy to round out the eliminations for the Adios. And with that, our elimination winners, they earn the right to select their post position in the final. That draw was done the other day. Selections were submitted yesterday. It was the connections of Odds On Mr. Mamba that had the first choice. So with that, let's bring up trainer Melanie Wren to let us know what post position it will be for Odds On Mr. Mamba, and to get a few words about the North America Cup champion, now trying to pick up another Grade 1 win coming up Saturday in the Adios. Melanie, always great to see you. Thanks so much for coming up here, and this is becoming familiar for you and I this year. So, right off the bat, what post position will it be on Saturday?
We're going to go with 3.
Okay, post position number 3. Hey, it's a great choice to have. You get to pick your post position, and there's only 2 choices, so you get first call. Did you ask driver James McDonald for his input?
We did. That's what he wanted.
Okay, so it's all on James if it goes well or doesn't go well. Post position number 3. I mentioned it was a rebound victory. You had to skip the Meadowlands pace with Odds On Mr. Mamba. Can you tell us a little bit how the last few weeks had gone and what you were expecting going into the elimination?
Well, he really came back to the Mamba that we know and love, and I think we did the best thing, giving him the Meadowlands pace off, even though that's an awful lot of money to skip out on. But he was sharp the other day, and he's sharp now, so I think we're pretty good going into it.
I asked you this a few weeks ago after the North America Cup, what this journey has been like, and it's a long season, of course, and you got to pick and choose your spots. But have you taken some time just to kind of soak up the ride it's been with him?
It's really crazy, and every time I walk into his stall, I'm like, how? I'm just like, every day is a surprise with him.
Talk about the racing community here at the Meadows coming into town to race here. How special is it to be a part of an event like this?
It's really awesome. Everybody here is so nice. We wound up on a farm, and they just sort of welcomed us in. Everybody's spectacular, and we're very grateful to be here.
All right, Melanie. Well, thanks so much for doing this. Best of luck coming up on Saturday.
Thank you.
All right, Melanie Wren, odds on Mr. Mamba, post position number 3. We'll call up now trainer Ron Burke, who sends out 5 in Saturday's final, including Al Poppy, 147 and 2 in his elimination. Ron, I want to ask about that elimination in a second, but let's get the business out of the way. What post for Al Poppy?
We'll take the 4 then.
Okay, so seemed pretty simple after 3 was gone?
Yeah, like the 2's too far inside, and I'm hoping like one of our other 2 get inside of that, so we'll take the 4.
What did you think of that elimination when the time came up there? Were you expecting a race like that?
You know what, like when we got to half so fast, actually when we got to the quarter, you know you're going to go fast, so I don't think the time meant anything. So they were both divisions were, I thought, very equal, even though the times were different.
When you send out 5 horses, is there any sort of strategy, any sort of game plan for the stable here? Is it just about having the horses ready to go?
My guys have hard enough time making strategy for 1 horse. They can't do 5 horses.
Well represented for your home race, and I know this means an awful lot to you. Just speak to what the Adios means to you.
You know, this is home. This is the race we dreamed of, like, as a kids. You know, it took us forever to win it, you know, and it's still very special to us. You know, it's, you know, more like my father's race, and, you know, for us, it's the race of the year for us to win.
Okay, well, we could be here for a while if we were going to go horse by horse of the 5 you're going to send out, but I do want to touch on Luadipa. How's the filly heading into Saturday?
You know what? It's not as good as I'd hope, but, you know, like, we're hoping for a good draw, and then we'll, you know, figure it out there. You know, all of them came out different this week, and, you know, would I say that I was happiest with her? No, but, you know, we're going to move forward and try to get her going.
Well, like I said when we were meeting the field, I think it was a statement to put her in here, and spoke to all the confidence you have in her. So I think we appreciate that. It's a wonderful storyline for Saturday, and we're wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, Ron Burke will send out 5 in the Adios final. So 3 and 4 are off the board. We'll bring the gentleman back up to the front, and we'll finish off the draw for the Adios. So with 3 and 4 no longer available, we won't put those pool balls in, and we'll wish everyone the best of luck for a good draw here in the final. Once again, you'll be able to watch this race nationwide on the CBS Sports Network coming up on Saturday afternoon from 5 to 6. Primetime Racing and our entire crew here, we're going to have live coverage as well across YouTube and our social channels throughout the afternoon, so you won't miss a second of the wonderful card that has been put together. It's going to be a great day of racing, a wonderful week, and I kind of want to echo what Melanie was saying, just the reception we've had coming into town. I know a couple of our guys got here yesterday, but being here at the races this afternoon, it's a great community, so we love events like this, appreciate the opportunity to come in and cover. So I'll wait for Michael to give me the cue once we are ready to go, and we'll finish off the draw for the Adios. Good to go. Also eligible. No wait list was the other 5th place finisher. Another C note and no wait list finished 5th. It did go to the highest place, or the highest earner from the 5th place finishers. It does qualify for the final to make it a field of 9.
Ready?
2.
Post 2, Frantic Hanover.
Okay, Frantic Hanover, post position number 2. You saw it on the replay there. The way that he raced in his elimination, pushing up the inside, only missed by a neck. Tim Tetrick in the bike. Frantic Hanover, post position number 2 for the son of Stay Hungry.
5.
Post 5, Luadipa.
Okay, so we continue with the Burke Brigade. Luadipa was 4th in the first elim. He's going to get post position number 5. Ronnie Wren in his usual position behind her in the elim for trainer Ron Burke, daughter of Sweet Lou.
7.
Post 7, Treacherous Lou.
Treacherous Lou finished 3rd in the first elim. Was clocked in 149.4 as mentioned, trained by Robert Cleary, a son of Captain Treacherous. Going to get post position number 7, Treacherous Lou.
Okay.
9.
Post 9, Malillo.
Malillo will get post position number 9. Again, from the Burke barn. Finished 2nd, raced very well in that second elim behind his stablemate Al Poppy. Another son of Sweet Lou. Ronnie Wren did the driving in the elim.
8.
Post 8, Toast of the Town.
Toast of the Town was fourth in the second split. Was clocked in 149 and 4. Is trained by Noel Daly, son of Sweet Lou. Post position number 8. So with that, we've got a couple remaining. Posts 1 and 6 remain on the board.
1.
Post 1, another C note.
So another C note got that opportunity to advance to the final, finishing fifth in the first elimination. Was clocked in 150 and 1. Yannick Gingras did the driving for trainer Ron Burke, a son of Captain Treacherous. Gets the rail in the final.
Last one out. 6.
Post 6, Sweet Lovin' Lou.
Sweet Lovin' Lou for trainer Dan Legacy. Driver Scott Zeron is going to round things out. Post position number 6. There you have it, the field for the 2026 the Grade 1 Adios. How about a round of applause for the horses and all the connections racing this Saturday. So now you have it, and the handicapping gets underway. I know there was a lot of our horse players around the sport that were eagerly anticipating this draw, and they can start to tackle it. Hey, if you know who's going to win, make sure you let me know. That's going to wrap things up for me, but I do want to bring up at this time the Director of Racing, Michael Carter, to offer a few remarks.
Thank you, Mark. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight to the draw. This is the first time we've done this in quite some time, and I got to say I'm extremely proud of the turnout. Thanks to the horses and horsemen, especially those who supplemented. Tom and I were talking this morning, 2 supplements in the Adios, 2 in the Adio Volo. It clearly shows where we rank as far as racetracks go, and I couldn't be more proud of the entire team for all the work they've put in. And we're ready to be on CBS coming up on Saturday. So it'll be a lot of fun. Make sure to bring some friends and family out, and we'll have a great day.
All right, well, thank you again, everyone, for coming out. But remember, it's not just about Saturday. We also have Grand Circuit Stake Racing here on Friday evening. Our first race on Friday will be 5:10. We've got several Arden Down Stakes on Friday. Saturday, in addition to the 3 races we drew, earlier today we drew for some pretty big races there. We've got some Arden Downs and some Pennsylvania Sire Stake races. And as Mark pointed out, some of those Pennsylvania Sire Stake horses you're going to see back here in the Adios next year. If you went back and looked at last year's Adios Day, you saw Melillo, you saw Al Papa, you saw several of these horses that are racing today, this week, and so they raced here as 2-year-olds last year. The other big one that we did not have time to draw tonight, it was actually pre-drawn Friday evening, the Wiener Dog races. Those are always one of the most popular days. It's one of the most popular days of the year when we have the Wiener Dog races. So we will have the Wiener Dog races on Friday evening as well. So come on out if you've never seen that. It's quite a sight. So that is pretty much going to wrap things up for our media members. We invite you to stick around and grab some of our owners, trainers, drivers here for some interviews. But again, thank you everyone for coming out. And we're looking forward to a big week. We're racing tomorrow, 12:45, Friday, 5:10, and Saturday at 11:30. So thank you, everyone.